Hi everyone, welcome to ML Interview Prep. I am a fresher, just like many of you. I am currently attending Python and AML interviews. Recently, I attended a Python full stack with AML internship interview, where the interview was started with Python basics like mutable and immutable data types, followed by lists, dictionaries, and coding questions. So I decided to share these real interview questions along with clear explanations and correct answers to help others prepare better. In this video, we will go through the questions step by step and understand how to answer them confidently in the interviews. The first question they have asked me was, what is mutable and immutable data type? So what you should keep in mind is that in Python, when we create variables, objects are created in memory. So mutable objects are those whose values can be changed after creation and the object remains the same. Example of mutable objects are list, dictionary, and set. Immutable objects are those whose values cannot be changed after creation. Example int, float, string, and tuple. When we try to modify an immutable object, Python creates a new object instead of changing the existing one. The follow-up question they asked me was, what is a list? A list is an ordered collection of elements in Python. Lists are mutable, which means we can add, remove, or update values or elements inside a list. Lists allow duplicate values. That is, I can add an element or a value multiple times inside a single list. List can store different data types. That is, I can add string, integer, float, dictionary, tuple, or even a list itself inside a list. And these lists are indexed starting from 0. We can create a list using square bracket or a list constructor. So we can now create a list with square bracket. First, we are going to declare a variable. I'm declaring here my list. I'm adding some integers 1, 2, 3, a string ABC, and a float 3.5, then a dictionary. So these are all inside a single list. Now I'm printing my list. So I'm getting all these lists inside this single list. We can create a list using the list constructor. Similarly, we are declaring a variable, calling the list constructor. I'm adding some integer and a string and a tuple. Now we are getting different data types in a single list. What we should be aware of is that strings should always be in double quotes or single quotes. Some commonly used list operations are append, extend, and insert. Append is used to add one or single element at the end of the list. For example, I am giving a list B is equal to 1 to 3 and I need to add 4 at the end of the list. So I am giving B dot append of 4. Now I am printing B. I am getting 1, 2, 3 and 4 as you can see. Next comes the extend. It is used to add multiple elements to a list or combine two lists. So first we can try to add multiple elements to a single list. So here I am declaring another list C is equal to 1, 2, 3. So I am adding C dot extend 4, 5. Now I am printing this. Now I am getting this list like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we can go to adding two lists. Declaring two variables D and giving 5, 6, 7 in the D and giving some string values inside the E. Okay, now I'm going to add first list to the second list. That is, first list we are going to give E dot extend of D. That is, we are adding first list to the second list. Whatever list we need to add, we need to give it in the extend. And for in which list we need to add, we are giving it in the before the extend function. And we are printing the second list. Now we are getting A, B, C and 5, 6, 7. Now comes the insert. It is used to add an element at a specific index. Declaring a list and f dot insert index 0, comma, the element I need to add is 4. And now I'm printing. I'm getting 4, 1, 2, 3. The main difference between append and extend is that append increases the list by length 1, while extend increases it by the number of elements added. We can remove the element using remove, pop, or delete functions. Remove function removes the first occurrence of a value. Here I am declaring 1, 2, 3, 1 in a list G. Now I need to remove 1. Okay. So G dot remove of 1, print of G. I am getting 2, 3, 1. It removes the first occurrence of 1. Now we are going to pop. Pop removes elements by index or last element by default. So I am declaring another variable h is equal to 1, 2, 3. Pop value is equal to h dot pop of 1. So I am going to remove the element in the index 1. So here the index 1 element is 2. I am getting 1 and this. Then comes the delete keyword. It removes the element using index. That is same as the pop. This pop and removes are function while the del is the keyword. So I am declaring another variable I is equal to 1, 2, 3 and del I of 1. So I am here also I am removing the first index. If I print this, I am getting 1 and 3. Here I am giving 3 instead of 1. When I run this, I am getting an index error as you can see. Even if we have 3 elements in this list, this is giving an index error. Why? This happens because the list indexing starts from 0 and goes up to length minus 1. Here the length of the list is 3, but the indexing starts from 0 and it will be like 0, 1 and 2. That is, the index number of the last digit here is 2, not 3. That is why this raises an index error. The next question they asked me was, is dictionary key mutable or immutable? Dictionary is mutable. However, dictionary keys must be hashable, which means they must be immutable. Now you will be wondering, what does keys must be hashable mean? Python dictionaries use a hash table internally. Keys are converted into hash values, so Python can quickly find the corresponding value. If a key could change, its hash would change, and the dictionary would break. Common hashable keys are int, float, string, and tuple only if all the elements inside the tuple are immutable. List, dictionary, and set cannot be dictionary keys. Dictionary values do not need to be hashable. Values can be mutable or immutable because Python do not use values for hashing. They are just stored as data. So the simple way to remember this is keys are about identity and values are about data. So I will show you an example. So I am initializing a variable d. Inside that I am giving a key, string, then the second key an integer and the third key a tuple value. So this is a valid dictionary as all the keys are immutable. That means these are hashable. Now I am creating another dictionary where I am giving list as key and string as a value. Now I am getting a type error. Why? Because list can change. So their hash would change. Python does not allow this. That's why we are getting a type error here. Now I am going to give a list inside tuple and assigning it as the key of a dictionary and I am giving string as its value. And now this is waiting. Even though tuple is immutable, it contains the mutable list. So a tuple is hashable only if all the elements are immutable. That's why this fails here. These are very common Python interview questions, especially for freshers. What matters most is explaining your logic clearly rather than memorizing syntax. I will keep sharing real interview questions as I continue my preparation. That's all for this video. In the next video, I will go through the actual coding question I was asked in the interview and solve them step by step in Python. If you're preparing for Python or AML interviews, stay tuned. We will work through these questions together.